When it comes to the question of personalities and whether we're born with our personality or whether it forms over time, research suggests that we're actually born with the innate drivers and desires that stay with us all the way through our lifetimes. So generally, we see very little change. We may refine, but our innate desires stay the same. Oftentimes, we think of children as being very carefree, just wanting to play all day, just joyful. However, we also know that children can be introverted, and there are children that their values and their core needs are order, systems, ways of doing things that are consistent. And when a parent is aware of something like that, it makes a big difference. I recently watched a video of a family that had surprised their 2 children with a trip to Disneyland. They got into the van and they were told, "We're going to Disneyland right now." The daughter was very happy. The son, not so much. In fact, he was visibly upset, and he kept repeating to his parents, "We didn't even discuss this. We didn't even discuss this." And in the comments, a lot of people were saying he was entitled, he was spoiled. But as I watched, I wondered if this was a child who had a temperament that really required A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, and valued and found security in order and in discussing things. What might surprise and delight one child may stress and not so much delight another child. So our research tells us that for some people, being able to act spontaneously in the moment is a driver. If they feel boxed in and that they can't, not that they necessarily must, but that they cannot be spontaneous, that actually stresses them. For others, being able to know that there is systematic, well thought out planning makes them feel safe and secure. Not having that, or the expression, "let's just wing it," absolutely throws them into a state of stress and distress. So when we talk about drivers, we're not talking about things like spreading your bed, being organized, turning up on time. We're not talking about those types of behaviors. We're talking about the ways that people express themselves or the ways that people learn. So for example, one child wants to get in there and muck around in the paint and wants to touch it and be tactile and be all up in it. Another child might say, "I'd like to read about this, or I'd like to get a chance to learn a bit about it more before I actually attempt to do it because I really want to master it." These are things that adults feel as well. The key takeaway that we want to get from this is that your child has been wonderfully designed. Your child has been filled with an amazing array of gifts, and it's your privilege to discover what those gifts are. And sometimes those gifts will match up with gifts that you have, and other times they'll be very different. For example, I loved to read as a child. I had my head in a book all the time. My mother was a practical person. She liked to do things with her hands. She felt that if it couldn't be done, then why are you just sitting around? Get doing. And it was challenging for her to understand a person that wanted to discover the world in a different way. And the tendency at times is to feel, this worked for me, this must be the path, this is the right way. So the more we expose ourselves to the possibilities of personality and the possibilities of what human beings can be, the more opportunity we have to see it and to nurture it. Instead of feeling that you need to be like me, we really feel you need to be like you.